Good morning. Today I'm walking two Corbetts number 35 and 36. I'm walking Culardoch, which is back of the high place, and Carn, which is the grey hill. I'm parked in a pay and display car park, and it's £3.50 for the day. And there you go, it's Invercold Estate car park. The sign says all routes this way. So I'm going to follow this road for a little bit through this pine forest before we hang a right and start climbing. I've just done a quick map check. We're actually going to follow this this road on the glen bottom for about 1 kilometre before we turn off. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a sculpture in the middle of that field there. Very bizarre. Anyway, it's quite timely because this is the point where we turn right. There's a footpath sign, so it's well signed. Yeah, I'm on another track which climbs very steadily through this pine forest, and I think I'm going to be on it for again another maybe mile or so. So I've probably been about a mile so far, and I've come to a fork. First decision I've had to make really, and I'm going to take the left hand fork, and I'm still in the forest, and I've still got a little way to go before I'm out of the forest. So here we go, that's the first view of Culardoch. It's quite an imposing mountain. Now it is 900 metres, so it's certainly one of the higher Corbetts. Okay, so I can see the plan. We're following this this track, and you can see it cutting through the glen side over there up to the Beag. Now I believe it's called Creag, and then we're going to follow the ridge line as it were to the top and retrace our steps to the Beag, and then we're going to head up that way over Carn, which is in the distance beyond over there. Culardoch is one of those that just doesn't get any closer. It's an enormous lump. We're still climbing up to this this Beag. So there's a cairn here signifying a path turning left. Now this is the path I'll be taking later to Carn, which is that way. But we've still got this to climb, and I think I've still got about 250 metres of ascent, so there's a fair way still to go. There's Beag over there. I approached that one from the other side. It was quite a long bike ride into it. I maybe made a mistake when I did that one. Good job for Stanley finding the path, because it's become very thin, in fact almost non-existent. So here we are, Culardoch. That was a bit of a pull. Yeah, what a great mountain. What a fabulous mountain. Look at that over there. Some views. Look, Nagar. Braemar down there. And the mighty Beag. So Carn is over there. That's where we're heading to next. Yeah, so the path drops very steeply. You can't probably see on this picture. And we're going to go back to the Beag down there that we were at earlier before we start making our ascent. Is that the little track that cuts off this Land Rover track? Now you can see the side there of Leah, and there's a little track cutting up through it, a little like stalker's track. That's going to be us for a bit. Yeah, it's quite a defined path, this one. You can see it cutting up the side over there. I'm just looking across at Beag. Got a much better view of the mound of rock at the top there that you had to climb up. As I'm getting towards the top, you can see how rocky it's become. not easy underfoot at all. So here I'm at 857. I think the next cairn on the next rise is about 863 maybe, but it's not actually the top. We're going to go to this cairn, the next cairn, and then we'll head off to the top, which you can't quite see yet. So very deceiving. So we're now at 861. Now the top is over there at 863, which looks miles lower than where we are. So according to Ordnance Survey, this is the top at 863 metres. Cairn Lea. And look at that for a backdrop. An A. Wow. And you can see the first ones from this morning over there. But I have to say, all these little tops that we've been over all look higher. They really do look higher. So I'm retracing my steps back to this little beag between the various tops that we've been over. That still look higher. And I'm going to cut off. When I get into this beag, I'm going to drop down the glen and pick up a track further down. So it's going to be pathless for a while. And there we are, we're dropping down, so we're pathless. Let's cut down this glen, but further down beside that burn I can see a Land Rover track or 4x4 type track, so we'll probably pick that up at some point. What a contrast to this morning, eh? Pathless, crawling through the heather. Very, very different. So I've got down to this, like a dry burn. Got bits of water in it here and there, but essentially it's dry. And I'm following this now, and I can see, I'm pretty certain I can see some 4x4 tracks ahead. To show you where we've been. We've come down there. Fantastic. As I say, what a contrast to this morning. Yeah, so we're now on the Land Rover track we could spy when we're way up at the Beag looking down. So we're going to follow this now round to the forest we were in earlier. So it's a bit more pronounced, the track we're on now, just as it turns round into the more westerly side of that forest we were in earlier today. So a fair way to go, probably maybe 2-3 miles. So there's been a myriad of these little forest tracks and trails. I have to say I came down a different trail to the one I expected to, but I'm back on the main one now at the bottom of the glen. I think they all pretty much head in the same direction eventually. So I've got maybe 1.5 miles along here before I get to the car.